Hello and welcome to my tips and tricks video for the Lenovo P2. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I really like the P2. It's a great value handset, very good performer, hardly anything I don't like about it other than perhaps the fairly weak camera, but that could be put right in the future. I've been using it as a daily driver. Needless to say, the battery life is fantastic. But what I thought I'd do is I'd just put together few of the tips and tricks that I find useful on a day-to-day basis. If you find them useful or you enjoy the video in any way, please like and subscribe and leave me any positive comments down below, any suggestions on how I might be able to improve my videos. I'm new to this, so please don't expect too much. The first tip is how to create a long screenshot. Let's say you're browsing a web page, you want to save the content for later, but it's a long web page and you don't want to do multiple screenshots. It's very straightforward. A double-fingered swipe down from the top area gives the screenshot option. You can then choose to either paint on the screen as it is, or you can opt for a specific area that you want to capture, or you can go for the long screenshot option. And what happens here is by selecting next a succession of times up to a maximum of 6 times, it will then combine those images into one long screenshot. So you'll see here, it gives me a warning message when I've reached the maximum. I can then save that long screenshot. And if I then go into the gallery app, I choose Quick Pick here. There's the screenshot, and by opening it, it's a long screenshot that I can then double tap and expand and read at a later date, either offline or just if I want to save certain content. So I know that this feature is available on other phones, as are many of these that I'm going to say, but I think it's very useful and worth mentioning. Next we have a way of changing the battery icon in the top notification area. It's not particularly easy to see how much battery life you've got. That isn't massively important with a phone like this with a huge battery life, but by going into the settings under Notification Center, you can choose to have just the icon or the percentage within the icon, which I find too difficult to read, or a combined display which shows you a larger percentage next to the icon. Sticking with the notification area, if you like this to be tidied up a little bit, you can go into Settings, Notification Center, and then if you scroll to status bar icons, you can then select some that you want to have hidden and others that you want to stay there all the time. It's quite a useful little tip, and it does free up some space for notifications. This is a really good tip to hide the on-screen navigation buttons here at the bottom of the screen. Go into Settings, choose the System button, opt to hide the navigation bar. The buttons can be swiped back up when required anyway. And also then choose to turn on the fingerprint device as the replacement. The way that the button would work is a simple touch would act as a back, holding it down will call up the recent apps, and pressing it in, because it is a physical home button, will of course act as the home key. This next tip is how you enable the quick snap feature. If you go into Settings, go to Feature and toggle the quick snap function into the on position. Now whenever the phone is locked, you can quickly double press on either the volume down or volume up rocker, and that will instantly launch the stock camera app and take a photograph. Now I've found that the focusing using this method can be a bit hit and miss. It does work sometimes, but as you can see here, by taking another photo using the same app but with a little bit more time, I can compare the two side by side, and the first one it missed the focus, but the second one, the focus is fine. So I think it's okay in an emergency. If you just want to quickly snap something, you might be lucky, it might get focus, but I wouldn't rely on it. Use this next tip to launch a third-party camera app directly from the lock screen. Go into Settings, Feature, and scroll down near to the bottom and you'll find Press Power Button Twice for Camera. I've already designated Open Cam as my third-party camera app, but if I double press the power button now, it will launch it just as quick as the other method. The only difference here is it won't take a photo automatically. I've set this for a burst of 10, and I do find that the output from Open Cam is vastly superior to the stock camera app that Lenovo have provided. This next tip is relating to the Smart Scene feature. Now, if you go into Settings and under Feature and Smart Scene, you'll see that there are some preset scenes that you can quickly launch or customize. I'm going to create a quick custom scene here, and I'm going to set it to be on a timed switch, and in this case it's going to be a bedtime scene, so 11 o'clock at night until 7 in the morning. And I'm going to choose a few options here. The first one I'm going to go for is I would like airplane mode to be on, and things like volume, etc. you can automate, so it's really useful if there's a certain profile that you want in a meeting or at night, and you can customize it pretty much to your heart's content. Just rename it. This one's called Sleep, and there you go, you can just toggle that one on and off whenever you need. This tip will show you how to enable the dual apps function. If you go into Settings, choose Feature, scroll down and enable the dual app profile. A list of your apps will appear here, and if you've got any like WhatsApp for example, or in this instance Google Opinion Rewards that you have more than one account for, you can enable a dual app. Now if you go to your app tray and scroll to the end, and you'll see the doubled up apps, and you get full functionality and full notification access. Really useful. This tip is to enable the quick flashlight feature. So go into Settings, again choose Feature, scroll down to close to the bottom and you see quick flashlight. Now the way that this works is you have to be on the lock screen. You can't be on a dark screen like I'm going to show you here. So by holding the button down, nothing happens here. But from the lock screen, I can hold that button down and the flashlight comes on. You can just see it in the background, and by tapping at the top, that turns it off again. Now, this final tip is particularly useful if you sometimes struggle to reach across to the screen using one hand, bearing in mind this is a 5.5-inch panel. You go into Settings, Feature, choose Microscreen, make sure it's enabled, and now you can draw a C from the top to the bottom of the screen on either side, and it will bring up this reduced sized version of the screen itself. It's a little tricky to get used to. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but when it does, it makes one-handed use much more comfortable. As you can see here, it just takes a little bit of getting used to. You can resize the screen as well, so that it's really tiny, a little bit harder to use, but it still means that on those occasions when you just simply can't use two hands, you can have full functionality of the screen without worrying about reaching across and potentially dropping the phone. So it's a good little option here. So there you have it. Those are my 10 hints and tips for the Lenovo P2. Hopefully you found some or even all of those useful or interesting. If so, please like and subscribe, leave me a positive comment or suggestion, or even a tip of your own. I'm fairly new to creating these videos, so I hope this one hasn't been too bad, but I do appreciate any comments that will help me improve in the future. So until the next time, thank you for watching.